But before we start the tour, I'd like to give a very brief introduction. Okay, Europeans built 3 slave castles in West Africa. All the 3 slave castles Europeans built in West Africa are located in Ghana. Basic slave castles are Elmina Castle, Osu Castle, and Cape Coast Castle. The Portuguese built Elmina Slave Castle in 1482. The Danes established Osu Castle in 1661, and the British built Cape Coast Castle in 1664. Les Européens ont construit 3 châteaux, le château d'Elmina, le château d'Osu, le château de Cape Coast. Les Portugais ont construit le château d'Elmina en 1482, les Danois ont construit le château d'Osu en 1661, et le château de Cape Coast a été construit par les Britanniques en 1664. Donc il y a 3 châteaux, le château d'Elmina, le château d'Osu, le château de Cape Coast. But over here at Cape Coast Castle are 2 dungeons, the male slave dungeon and the female slave dungeon. In the male slave dungeon were as many as 1,000 enslaved African men. In the female slave dungeon were as many as 500 enslaved African women. Il y a 2 dungeons, pour les cellules, dungeon des hommes et dungeon des femmes. Dans les dungeons, il y avait 1000 hommes, dans les dungeons des femmes, il y avait 500 femmes. Je vais montrer les dungeons. But this is what happened. The part of the history that is very important is the history that says that Africans sold their own people. That part is very important. It is very important to me because I understand how the Africans in the diaspora feel about this history. Okay. Is it true that we sold our brothers and sisters into slavery? What actually happened? What happened? Is it true that we sold our own people? Now, l'histoire qui m'intéresse beaucoup, c'est l'histoire qui dit que c'est nos ancêtres qui ont vendu nos ancêtres aux Européens. Aujourd'hui, je vais vous expliquer ce qui s'est passé, c'est très important pour moi, et les Afro-Américains qui viennent faire la visite ici, c'est très important. But when you look at the map, our ancestors during that time did not have the kind of countries that we have today, or the kind of geopolitical countries that we have today. We didn't have Nigeria, like geographical, that is Nigeria, that is Ghana, that is Mali. We didn't have that. Okay, they had empires, kingdoms, chiefdoms, and different tribes who spoke different languages. However, our ancestors were not practicing slavery or slave trade. We were practicing what you call servitude. Slave trade is different from servitude. Now in servitude, servants could keep their names. So that means if you are Kweko in a different jurisdiction and you come to serve me, I have to give you food, I have to give you water, I have to give you clothing items. You can marry, you can have children. If you are very responsible and loyal to my principles, I can even allow you to marry my daughters or daughter. And that is completely different from slavery. That is different from slavery. But when the Europeans came, they employed the system of slavery. Now, look, European culture focuses on 3 things: prudence, privilege, and power. African culture also focuses on 3 things: mutual relationship, respect, and values. Now, when you take prudence, privilege, and power, you get 4 things from these 3 things that I made mention of: white supremacy, indoctrination, mass incarceration, and weapons of mass destruction. You'll come to that when you get to the dungeons. Now, les Européens disent que c'est nous qui ont vendu nos ancêtres, mais c'était pas comme ça. Il n'y avait pas les pays comme les pays Ghana, Nigeria, la Côte d'Ivoire. Non. Il y avait les ethnies, les quartiers, les villages. Donc, quand les Européens sont venus, ce sont eux qui donnaient les choses comme les fusils, les armes aux chefs des villages. Donc, ce sont les chefs des villages qui vont acheter, qui vont chercher les esclaves qui viennent de vendre ici. Donc, c'est ce qui s'est passé ici. But where we are is called Palava Hall, this place. Palava is a Portuguese word, and it means to negotiate or conference or to bargain. This was the auction house of the slave castle. Ici était le marché du château. So this place had many tables. On the tables were items such as gunpowder, mirrors, sugar, clothing items. Ici était le marché. Il y avait des tables ici. Sur les tables, il y avait les habits, poissons, miroirs, du sucre. So this is where the British traders were actually waiting on the African traders to bring the enslaved Africans here for transactions to happen. So they'll just ask the African slave traders what they wanted on the table. You want this, you want that. They'll just give them the items and pick the slaves for them, or the enslaved Africans for them. Now the most painful part of the process of obtaining the Africans was the fact that the British traders had irons. We call them branded irons. On the branded irons were the names or the initials. We just put it in fire and put it on the chest. For easy identification. And right after that, the men were taken to the male dungeon and the women to the female dungeon. Donc les Britanniques, ils sont ici, ils viennent, nos chefs de village viennent vendre les esclaves ici. il est donné les habits, poissons, et il est marqué avec du fer. Il met du fer au feu. Il est marqué comme les bœufs. Et après ça, il stocke les hommes dans les dangereux hommes et les femmes dans les dangereux femmes. This is what happens. But don't forget product, privilege, and power. African culture focuses on three things: mutual relationship, respect, and values. Even if I see you and I have business to do with you, I still have to exchange pleasantries. How's your father? How's your wife? How's your mother? How are you doing? Which is fine. They are working. How is yours? Before you know it, then we start talking of the business. Because our culture does not focus on the item, but the relationship. That is why we have not been able to enslave a group of people. We don't care about that. That's why when the Europeans came, we build the relationship, but they had a different thought or idea. Enslaving us. So that's the difference between these two cultures. Mais ce qui fait mal au cœur, les Britanniques ont construit l'église ici, une église anglicane. Je vais vous montrer l'église et ce qui s'est passé ici. Ils mangeaient, ils faisaient caca, pipi dans les donjons, tout. Je vais vous montrer aussi Jérusalem, je vais vous montrer tout ce qui s'est passé ici. Mais je vais prendre mon temps. I'd like to take my time. I'd like to know if you have any questions before the tour starts. Let me know if you have questions. Before the tour starts. So this was the market, the slave gas. Okay. Okay, so you follow me. Now, the tour is not started. We've not started the tour. I'm just showing you around.
Okay.
On n'a pas encore commencé la visite.
D'accord.
On va commencer la visite dans les dungeons. We start the tour when it gets to the dungeons. But let me take you to the residence of the governor, the church, before we get to the dungeons. Okay. Listen. On y va s'il vous plaît. See, that's not to make way. You got to do that. I visit tonight. You got to go. Hey, I see him. What's up?
Just some message.
So let's be in the shade right here. Just be in the shade. And let me talk about a few things that are very important. Let's get in the shade. Take your time. So you can see for yourselves. You know, the Europeans claim the Africans never fought back. It's a lie. It's a fallacy. They claim the Africans never resisted. It's a lie. You know, les Européens disent que les Africains n'ont jamais aidé les autres Africains qui étaient stockés dans les dungeons. Mais les Africains voulaient les attaquer. The Africans wanted to attack them. So these were the weapons. These weapons right here, cannonballs and cannons, facing this side, were meant to prevent the Africans. So some Africans tried to attack them. So these were the cannons that they were using to protect the place. Now, can you see that those cannons over there? Look, there are some cannons over there. Can you see them?
Yes.
Now, those cannons over there were meant to prevent the other Europeans, such as the Dutch, the French, who tried to attack them across the ocean. So if really the Africans want to defend them, if really the Africans want to fight them back, why would they bring these weapons in the first place? Donc les canons d'ici, c'était pour les Africains qui attaquaient les Britanniques. Et les canons de là-bas, ce sont pour les autres Européens, les Français, les Hollandais qui veulent attaquer les Britanniques ici. That is what happened.
Ça se luttait les côtes, au fait, les Européens.
Les Européens venaient de la mer.
Oui, eux, ils luttaient les côtes.
Pour venir prendre les esclaves.
Non, ils venaient prendre le château.
Le château,
Pour continuer la traite des esclaves. C'est la même chose.
So you're saying that not only were they fighting Africans, but they had the slaves here, but there was other European nations trying to
wanted
what?
to take over.
Really? And
There
take...
was gold everywhere.
Oh.
If you see the amount of gold these Europeans took from the Africans, Europeans don't have gold, they have potatoes. So when they came here, they
Straight
they
up.
got crazy. They got very jealous. They wanted everything. That is why Ghana was known as the Gold Coast. There was gold everywhere. So when the British were here, the French wanted to take over. The Dutch wanted to take over. So the moment you take over this slave castle, you control everything in it. Everything around it. And one of the reasons why the Europeans didn't see the Africans as human beings was the fact that there were many insurance companies who sold insurance policies to the slave owners. I know two insurance companies, New York Life Insurance Company and US Life Insurance Company. So they sold insurance policies to the slave owners. So when a slave dies, these insurance companies will compensate them.
So we need to get reparations from them too.
I live in New York.
They are worth billions of dollars. They are worth billions of dollars.
Yeah.
Wow.
They are worth billions of dollars. These two companies, insurance companies, they had a lot of
Billions,
money.
right?
Yeah.
Built
And
off
they
slavery.
made the money.
Oh, for here.
Have you heard of Brown University before from the
Yeah.
US?
Yes.
Yeah.
They made a lot of money from this. Do you know Barclays Bank? They made
Barclays,
a lot of money.
yeah.
I don't see that in their prospectus.
Right.
They don't write it. They don't want you to know that they actually, made a lot of money from this. This is not a trade. This is a massacre, a genocide, exploitation, distraction, like transatlantic genocide, transatlantic massacre, transatlantic distraction.
Original trafficking.
There was no trade. There was killing of people.
Yeah.
There was dismantling, destroying, disrupting. But they don't tell you because the history has been watered down. Let's come right.
I'm not gonna lie, man. We work hard not to be mad black people. Every day. It's hard not to be a mad black person. To be honest. Especially when ain't nobody doing nothing to repair it. Ain't nobody doing nothing to repair it. Even good white people ain't doing nothing to repair it. Everybody's just content to let us not be repaired, not be restored. I shouldn't have to pay to come to Africa, to be honest. I didn't pay to go. Look how beautiful this water is. We always want to look at stuff through rose-colored glasses. There ain't no rose-colored glasses. Blood-stained glasses. You're talking about the history of black people. Blood-stained glasses. Then you got the clear folks over here learning. I don't even want to learn this, actually.
Yes, over there.
You see, look over there. Look across the ocean. Can you see the peninsula?
Yes.
Across the ocean. You see it? That's Elmina. That's where Elmina Castle is.
Wow.
No, zoom. Just...
So I'm putting Elmina, where we were yesterday, is way far out there. Wow.
So we have 65 seconds to take pictures and
A lot of praying and meditating I would need to do here. How many of our people who just got tossed in that ocean? That's what they did. Killed us or let us die, and then just threw us in the ocean.
Attention, s'il vous plaît. Ça tombe sur vos pieds, vous êtes foutus. Attention. Maman, j'ai fini, c'est là. Encore, Okay, great. Go ahead.
Feels wonderful right here.
I see it. Souvent, tu fais la visite avec les Africains. Non, les Africains mieux comprennent l'histoire parce que si tu fais la visite avec eux, c'est normal. Mais s'il y a les Européens dedans, tu fais la visite avec eux. Mais les Non-Américains, les Jamaïcains, tu fais la visite. Hey, ils sont prêts à aller.
But look together and do it.
So let's stand right here for some fresh air. I need to show you where Elmina is located. Now look across the ocean. Can you all see the peninsula? This one, right? Yeah, across the ocean. You see it? That's Elmina. That's where Elmina Castle is located. Après la mer, c'est Elmina. C'est là-bas que château d'Elmina se trouve là. So Elmina Castle is the oldest and the biggest castle. That castle is 541 years old. And this is 358 years old. Le château d'Elmina 541, là, le château de Québec 358. Across the ocean, the peninsula. But now I want to show you the residence of the governor, the bedroom and the living room. Maintenant, je vais vous montrer la résidence du gouverneur. On y va sur le piste.
Where he raped, tortured, assaulted. Yeah, girl, I'm looking like.
Watch your steps, please. Watch your steps. Watch your steps. Slowly. We're not rushing. Watch your steps. Walk slowly. Please come.
Oh, my sleeves are falling.
Everything. You see it? Now, I intentionally draw you here. Okay? So, this is the residence of the governor. On est dans la résidence du gouverneur britannique du château. This is the living room. We're in the living room, and that's the bedroom of the governor. On est dans la chambre. Donc, ça c'est le salon, puis la chambre est là-bas. Now, the living room has 9 windows, the bedroom has 5 windows. Le salon a 9 fenêtres, la chambre a 5 fenêtres. So I draw you here. I want you to conceptualize the differences. Can you see it for yourselves? The dungeons will shock you. The dungeons will shock you. The windows, they are not
It
windows.
has all these ventilation.
Ventilation.
Yeah.
The windows are not windows, they are holes. Very small holes. Dans les dungeons, il n'y a pas de fenêtres, il y a des trous. Petits trous comme ça.